The second question you've all kind of brought up, job creation is very important. And so we do need to create more jobs while maintaining the quality of life that we all enjoy here in Columbia County. So the question for you, and we'll start with Tony, work this table, Colleen, work this table. So we'll start with Tony. What is your vision of successful economic development for Columbia County?
Thank you for that question. I think we're already on that road. We have now probably the first comprehensive economic development team that we've had in this county, called the Columbia County Economic Development Team. If you're not familiar with it, I really invite you to check the website out. I think we have no problems.
Switch mics.
Okay, we'll try that one. Anyway, having been through two catastrophic events in Columbia County, both floods that we've had, I've learned that substantive change comes from catastrophic change. And I would submit to you that our economic condition is a catastrophe. And I think that we're really at a doorstep of significant paradigm shift change in Columbia County. And it's our job right now to make sure that we are positioned well for the economic upturn. With the Columbia County Economic Development Team, we've already had some very big wins in a very short time. And I think we are well positioned and getting better in terms of our position for economic development, job growth in this county. We have tomorrow, ORPET will be opening. That's a very big win. We have the airport development here that's developing, Pacific Stainless, Teevan Brothers, Armstrong expansion, the Forest Health Human Health Initiative, which is going to be on PBS next month, only in Columbia County, the Transit Center, and now a commitment for a physical presence for higher education in Columbia County. I think we're on the right road, and I'm really excited about it.
I agree with Commissioner Hyde on the Columbia County Economic Team approach. They are getting good strides. One of the things that I think gets overlooked often is the small business. We keep seeking big, and we need to. We have resources that we need to bring in on a big approach, but there's a lot of small businesses that are folding up and going away. We're losing jobs at the same time we're gaining jobs. So our unemployment just kind of bounces up and down. I think we need to also strategize on how to help the small business to stay in business. And I know the PGE issue, people are going to say it was bad to give tax breaks. Well, sometimes you have to give incentive to get somebody to come in. At what level, that's kind of dictated by the state rules that we have to play by. At the same time, I don't think we need to ignore the fact that we need clean industry. We need to make sure what we bring in helps maintain Columbia County's environment. We don't want to lose the valuable resources that we have.
Well, my idea for successful economic development is very important to bring other jobs in other than heavy industry jobs. We need to get more smaller businesses, and there's programs such as Buy Local, something like Lincoln City did, was really successful. I think we need to cut the system development charges for small businesses that start out. They need the help, and once they get going, they can expand, and then they can hire more people. We've lost about 20% of our non-farm labor jobs in the last 5 years. So I think Columbia County, needs to get into the more modern field. I think we've been kind of stuck lagging in the background of the metro area and the more populated areas. And I think if we don't get in with the future, we're going to be left behind. And I'm afraid that's what's been happening to Columbia County. I would like to cut some of the huge tax abatements, as my good friend here talked about at Fort Westward for PGE. That was 15 years tax abatement and $33 million. The county budget is short $2 million a year. That money would have kept the county going. PGE might be a great company, but for $33 million and 15 years tax abatement for a possible 1 to 2 jobs, I don't consider that a win situation. Even though they are going to create some construction jobs, we need to think past the construction field market and get something in here that's for everybody that stays in the county.
I think we have to do it now, law of supply and demand. When you supply workers with jobs, demand economic, industrial breaks in the system without a tax deduction. All taxes should be stay in the county, be reduced back to the county to make the county grow faster. If we keep paying taxes out, the county will keep falling. So we have to do something to control it in the county. Bring business in and have the county be self-contained with itself for the rest of the state.
I've had the privilege of working for the economic development engine for the last 14 years, the Port of St. Helens, and we've done a lot of amazing things. And I have to agree with Commissioner Hyde when he brought up CCET, and we have some amazing collaboration going on in our community now that we haven't had in the last decade. And I think we'll make major strides in a direction that can change the community for the better. With that said, however, I think one of the debating pieces of this is that economic development always seems to just be surrounded by the jobs issue. And economic development isn't just about jobs, it's about capital investment in your community. So, there's those who are a little bit upset about the PGE thing, but when PGE invests more dollars in your community, you have more tax dollars coming out of them, even if we give them a little bit. Investment in the community is a big deal. You have to have a healthy community. And so with that vision of economic development also comes other social services, and we have to be able to find that balance between the jobs piece and how we're going to live, and can we provide those essentials, community services and social services to our community. Maybe we don't want 5,000 jobs out here. I haven't ever had that, heard the discussion, and I think that needs to happen. We live in a rural community for a reason, and some of us like it that way. Does that mean we don't want more jobs? Absolutely not. I think we need to make that decision, though, as a community, to decide how rural we want to stay and how many jobs we want to provide to our community to get those services we need for our county.
This county has two major areas that I believe need to be developed to make the economic area prosperous. One is Port Westward, and the other is the airport here in Scagos. Those will be the economic engines that drive this county. Those people who are only centered on small businesses, and small businesses are important, but when the big business goes out, the barbershop closes up. And we've seen that here in Boise land. We've got an economic development team now available that's been doing great work, and I really support what's been going on there. But these two areas, the airport and Port Westward, will be kind of the anchor stores. If you go into a mall, you know that there's 2 or 3 anchor stores, and all the smaller ones can survive off that. And that's what these two areas are going to be. We need jobs, but I think what Colleen said is really important. And that is, we've got to have a discussion in this county about what the county wants to be. It is pretty split right now between those who want very little development and those who want to see jobs brought in, want their kids to stay local, want to see some development. We've got to have that discussion. Otherwise, we end up having debates that go nowhere. We have people bringing jobs to our area that can't get settled because another group put them in their way. And this is not just a local issue. It's an issue that has to be debated throughout our county.
I agree with what Earl said. We're in a position where we need to make a decision as a county. Having campaigned for this position before and going into different towns, some people want just jobs that are going to be paying family wage. They don't want anything to change. I remember when I was much younger, Columbia County was at its heyday economically. We had lumber mills, we had factories, we had different things going on, and that's where I'd like to see it get back to. But I want to bring one thing to your attention, and I'm all for small business, don't get me wrong, but I think we need some major industrial tenants to come in to Fort Westward and other areas, and I'll tell you why. There's been a study. Whenever a large business comes in and they spend, say, $100 million to open up a new business, the county is going to receive $1.5 million in tax base. So I really feel we can't eliminate the industry. I think they need to be in places where they're not going to interfere with people and what they enjoy doing. But we can't rule them out if we want to get through this economic crisis. So we need to really, really consider that. I also see possibly more industry with our wood products. We look around us, we see all the trees we have, all the forests we have. Well, there's a successful plant in Columbia City making pellets, and they're sold all over. So maybe some more industry along that line can help out the rural farmer, the small landowner, and help them as well as helping our county. So there's a lot of things we can do.
As a small business owner, I don't want to say I'm against large business, but again, I don't think it's really going to happen here. I mean, I'd love to see it happen. I'd certainly like to see a Google or some other high-tech company move in and bring a bunch of jobs to us. But I believe very sincerely that and it's really shown across almost all of them in the last 5 years, almost 80% of the jobs in this county, in the country, that have been created by small business. And that is, in fact, I think, what we need to focus on. And the people that you hear complaining about redevelopment, they're not talking about the stores that are closed, right? So any town, and there are stores after store after store that's empty, and that is where we need to focus on getting those stores filled, people in there, and people employed locally. One of the things that I would like to do is copy a program from Lincoln County, which is a shop local program. We can bring that here. Even the county doesn't do a great job about buying local. I can tell you from personal experience, they don't buy their computers here. They don't buy them from me. They buy them from Portland. We need to buy them here locally. There's $133 million every year that is spent from within this county that goes outside of the county. If we bring those dollars back in, that's a big thing. Just in the electronics industry alone, it's $5 million. There's only 5 computer stores in this county. That's $1 million a store. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of employees.
All right, thank you.